And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this very special edition of New Distributor Training for Saturday morning. My name's Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with Zija, and welcome to my remote office. Those of you that are regular attendees, I do this from my home office, pretty much every Saturday morning, unless somebody else is doing it. And this is that time of year that I make that transition across the ocean to the remote island office. And, nobody should feel sorry for me because you have no idea the view I've got here. I'm probably going to, before we're through here, take the computer outside. Normally I do these broadcasts from the lanai so I can show off the view I've got actually. I'm very excited about this morning. For those of you that are at the launch events and watching this after the fact, on the recording on the YouTube channel, very good idea. I know you've gotten a lot of support and a lot of information from the leadership that's been at those meetings. Today, I have a very special guest. I have Double Diamond Mike Crane joining me from Big Island. And, neither one of us were able to be at one of those launch events because we're here. But Mike is a very successful businessman, has been able to identify the attributes of network marketing, being able to create leveraged residual income, and he spends his winters adjacent to me. He's a couple islands over from here. But he's got some very, very good perspective on what to do now that we've just left. Some of you are just, joining your launch meetings right now. Some of you are completing them because you're on the East Coast or what have you. And it'll be very, very beneficial to you to be able to hear the kinds of things that professionals like Mike are doing to prepare for, this year that we're going to have essentially the launch of Zija International. So anyway, welcome to all of you. I want to do a couple quick things, especially for those of you that are tuning in this morning that maybe you really are a brand new distributor, okay? And you saw the little posting on YouTube or rather, Facebook. Maybe you're on my mail list and you got the email about, brand new distributor training. Well, we're going to be talking about a lot of things today, but I want to give you a little guidance for those of you just getting started, or maybe you've been with Zija for a while, you've been involved in network marketing in the past, but you never really felt like you got that firm foundation, what was necessary to build your business, to build perhaps your legacy with our company. And I'm going to direct you to a couple of resources. I have a YouTube channel. Let me see if I can get this chat box going here. For those of you that are on your mobile devices, tap your screen. You'll see the little icons pop up and look for the chat bubble. I'm going to put an email. I'm going to put a website address in here, www.youtube.com/Fred Holmes Zija. There you go. That YouTube channel, you'll find all of the recordings of our Thursday night business presentations, great tools for you to expose people to what we're doing as a home-based business, different stories, different people, different walks of life. It's an excellent resource for you. But if you go to that YouTube channel and click on the playlist tab, you'll see that there's only one playlist in the playlist tab. You'll see 4 little videos called New Distributor Training. I encourage you to spend some time watching those. That's the foundation. It's the things that were taught to me, I guess 35 years ago now, when I first made that decision to leave my previous career as a cross-country truck driver and be able to, get involved in a home-based business, start part-time, build a residual income. The information in those little videos is what helped me be able to transition from being a truck driver to creating, substantial success in network marketing to the point where I was able to retire 10 years later. So by the time I hit my mid-40s, I was already done doing what most people take until their, 60s and 70s to accomplish. So I encourage you to go over there, new people wanting to re-engage, have that firm foundation. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to bring Mike Crane over because we spent a tremendous amount of time yesterday on the phone talking about today's training, because we wanted to just be able to provide for you everything that you need. And sorry about that. I should have turned that off. Distractions, right? Squirrel brain. Let's see here. More. Promote the panelists. Mike, you're coming over to this side. And it's coming over. I'm still eating my protein shake for this morning. Good morning, Mike. How are you? Oh, you brave soul. I'm going to unmute you here, buddy. Nope, doesn't look like I can unmute you. Oh, there we go.
There, I got it.
Oh,
perfect.
Good deal, Ann. Well, you're a brave soul. You're outside. I was thinking about it, but man, it was whooping over here a little bit earlier today.
It was here as well, actually, and if you had brought me over any quicker, you'd have seen me trying to mute my phone really quickly.
Well, very good. Great to see you, Mike, and I'm especially privileged because having a fellow like yourself who's got such a, well, you've been very, very successful in your own businesses, you and Shauna, traditional businesses, one of the busiest guys that I've ever met prior to getting involved in network marketing. I know one of the little connections you've run and still do, I know at this time, have a trucking company. And when I first met you, I actually remember standing, on that little stage that they had there in where was it, Red Deer or someplace like that. And we had spoken on the phone before, but this was our first chance to meet. And I was about to say something like, "You don't look much like a truck driver," and I think you said the same thing to me. But hey, there is life after driving trucks, right?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, Mike, we as I was talking to the folks here, we spent an extraordinary amount of time yesterday on the phone preparing for today's training, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Don't make me a liar, Mike. Actually, I've been able to spend time with Mike and Shauna there on Big Island. I recognize the view. I remember sitting right at that table the first time I came over to see you. And we spent most of our time talking about being over here. And when it came to our Saturday morning training, it was real simple. We just want to make sure that everybody knows exactly what to do to take advantage of this unique time in history. It's January the 11th. We have, 30, 40 now launch events going around North America, introducing our newest product offerings. There'll be some other things that will come out of that we'll have to wait to hear from the folks that are there. But Mike, I think that, what I'd like to do to start out with, from your perspective as a businessman, you've been able to build a residual income with Zija. You've been around quite some time. You've gone through the different ebbs and flows of the business with Zija. We've had some, astounding growth stages. We've had, consolidation stages, especially in the last couple of years. We've done a lot in terms of expanding our product line, really digging deep for the management team we need at the company to really get the resources we need. Maybe you could kind of share your perspective, compare and contrast, if you will, what it's like to be part of Zija International, just getting started now. Maybe put yourself in the mindset of, you're just starting today. What are the advantages that we have with Zija today for a brand new person versus a few years ago when you got started with the company?
Well, I'll tell you, looking at things today, I'm way more excited for the people that are getting started today than I was when I first got started. We hardly had, we had a few products back then, right? And they were good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, everything that Zija has ever produced has been phenomenal in the product line. I've always loved the fact that we can what's the term I'm looking for? We can under promise and over deliver. We don't have to make big promises. We don't have to make big claims. We just say, hey, you know what? Try this. It might work for you. And it does. It's exciting. What we have for product line today is just phenomenal. I mean, there's something for everybody with the bundles that they brought out. And now they're promoting the bundles all at the special pricing, the 150 for 150 PV. That is just super exciting. People that are getting started building today, they're, when we were first building, Fred, we were trying to build with the Builder 2, if you remember. They called it the Builder 2. That was
or the Z10. That actually predates you, buddy. Z10.
Right. Yes, yeah, the Z10 that you had to add to make it 1,000 PV. But now they're saying, hey, you know what? Just build with the bundles. Just build with a 250 PV order, and the Premium 20 and the Elite 40. They've shown examples of how to hit these targets, building with the small volume. It's creating customers. And once people start to use these products, they fall in love with them. When you have a bunch of people that have fallen in love with the products, that creates a residual income. So if we get, what do you always say? We need to share the product, and we need to share how we share the product, and that's going to build the business.
I want to stop there for a second, because you're pointing out some things that frankly would be lost on maybe 95% of people that have ever been in network marketing. The key to our business, and yeah, people get involved in network marketing because they fall in love with a product. Okay, we've got people on here, and I'm looking at several of the people that are participating, as I know their story. Some of them have had nothing less than life-changing results on our products. I mean, miraculous results in our products. And when you can market a product like that, that's like giving away, ice cream and free puppies, right? I mean, who doesn't want ice cream and puppies, or kittens if you're not a dog person? Yeah, a lot of people don't, who get involved in network marketing don't see the elegance of this business model. And you as a successful businessman, and I know from the things that we've talked about, as a businessman, you talk in terms of hundreds of thousands of dollars of investment before you see a penny of return on that in this business. And then on that business, you got, traditional business is not easy. Whereas in our business, you can create, extraordinary levels of income, but there's a process that you use that is important. And a lot of people miss this. If so many people join because of the products. Other people are looking for a way to create additional income. But when you have a program, a plan that can duplicate through the masses, that's what creates the distribution chain. It's this distribution model that's so unique. And again, we're talking 95% of the people that have ever been in network marketing miss this. And that's what we want to do for all of our team members and that join us on these calls, is to give them the stuff that very few people really get. So you pointed out something. When we first started, the model was very similar to what I was familiar with from my previous multi-level ventures. Bring a new person in, make sure they invest in product, because that means products flowing through the pipeline. Okay, you can set up one customer at a time, or you can get a distributor and have that distributor start with maybe enough product for 10 customers. Okay, well, that type of process builds faster volume, but it also has a downside. It does not have that foundation of consumer support, people using the product on a daily basis. You just mentioned something that a lot of people miss. We have, and for the brand new people, we have product bundles. There's a half a dozen of them. They meet different, areas of interest in people. Energy, weight management, clean home, skincare, and so on. These are very well priced. They're $200, 150 PV. The PV is what we get paid on. These bundles have the ability to have more product in them than the actual cost. So they're great values, but in particular, it allows the new prospect, whether it's a prospective customer or distributor, to be able to sample more types of products than they might have initially done had they just selected nutrition. They get other products. So it's getting more products into people's hands. A brand new person can now select from those at a discounted price of $150. Now, you said something, Mike, that was really key. Starting wherever the person wants to start and get them involved in the product, because it creates that consumerism. Maybe you can, share some of your own examples of, your personal, experiences on the products. You and Sean, I know, have had great experience on the products. Some of your distributors, what has happened with them, because that's a foundation of creating that distribution model that's duplicatable by everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I was never ever sold a product. I got to admit, I didn't start for the products. I heard about the products, and I was told about the products. I under promised at the time, and and when I said to myself, and I said to Sean, I said, if these products are half as good as they say they are, with this business model, we've got a winner with this company. I'm looking at the business. That's what I was looking at. I was looking for residual income, and that, and this showed it to me. And so I was pretty excited. Then we used the product. I ordered a Builder 2 or a Diamond system or premium system at that time. And we started to use the product ourselves. And within 3 weeks, we were seeing differences in ourselves, healthier, not tired all the time. There was things happening for us as well. And to this day, this is almost 9 years ago, Fred. The Super Mix and the XM Plus are mixed up and in our refrigerator for Sean and I every single day. And distributors use more products than the customers do. Customers find a couple of products that they love, and then they continue to use those, and they very often don't fluctuate out into other product lines unless somebody says to them, hey, have you looked at this, have you tried this? But the distributors, they're trying all the different products. I mean, I think we have every product line in our house, and we use a lot of them every day, as you do. You're having a shake right now. But we've seen people.
I got my limit list for the second half of today's call.
There you go. But the key is to staying in touch with people. You have to stay in touch with the distributors. You have to stay in touch.
Can you see what's going on in the background there?
Yep. Look at that.
Looking at, she's drinking her Zija. Hey, Shauna, how are you, darling?
They're saying hi.
Great to see you. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, if I didn't know better, I'd say you staged that, but I know better. You didn't. You just forgot Mike's on the camera.
I thought I was out of the way.
Yeah, there you go. But the like I was saying, the key is to be in touch with people. You have to talk to people. You have to share what we have, and you want to once they start using it, you want to find out what results they're getting, and why they're in love with it. And once they're in love with it, then they want to share with their friends as well. And a lot of people, depending on how they're getting started, if they're after the business, well then, I mean, we can, the cool thing is the system that we have in place is we can show them how to get that duplication happening. And the duplication is the key, as you've already said. So,
one of the things I think every new distributor and existing distributor who wants to be part of the growth that's going to happen over the next, 3 to 5 years with Zija, needs to plug into the path that we have in front of us now. Any new person, whether it be a customer or distributor, they can pick 1 bundle, 2 bundles, 3 bundles. What areas do they have interest in? And allowing that person to choose what's important to them as opposed to what we think they should start with, that's key. Because, Mike, you can't be a business owner without being a good salesman. Okay, right?
True story.
You had to sell the bank on loaning you, a zillion dollars to start the trucking company. I mean, right? You got to be a good salesman. Me, growing up, I never saw myself being that type of person. I've undergone a lot of personal development, learning how to communicate effectively. I can if I'll do the big air quotes, sell the big packages. But that's not the masses. Show me a program where the everybody's of the world can participate and participate at a high level. That's a system that will rock a network marketing business model. And so simply saying, you know, what interests you the most? You know, nutrition, weight management, healthy lifestyle, you know, pick one or pick two or pick three. See, that soft sell approach is critical to the duplication model. Now, we've got a plan in place where the brand new person just getting started, I know you know where I'm going with this, 3 and free for 3 months. 3 introductions to Zija's products, and the new person gets their monthly supply up to $200 worth of products free. If that was the only thing that we as a distributor taught our brand new customer or distributor, we would have massive duplication. Think about that, Mike. I mean, you're a numbers guy. If every new person you brought in ended up having 3 new customers over a month for 3 months, that's 9 new people. Or your person represents 10-fold increase in your sales volume. What if you got just 1 person a month and did that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The numbers by the end of a year are going to be astronomical. You know, I mean, the 3 and free program, that was what a great thing to do. It's well, and then, you know, going forward from that, I've got my notes here. The Premier 20. You know, where you get your free product, the Premier 40, you get your free product plus a $250 bonus, and customers and distributors can do that. So it's a great thing when people, you know, like you say, people don't want to be sold, but people do like to buy. So the softer that you can do that, it just makes sense, you know, and when people like what they're doing, then they're going to share it.
You and Sean have built a huge business. When I say you and Sean, I know, you know, because I know you guys real well. You're the one that's the face of, you know, the Crane Zija business. Shauna is in the background supporting you. And because she's using the product, she's, you know, bringing new customers to the table and that sort of thing. You've had an opportunity now over almost a decade. You said 9 years. To be involved with our company. Obviously, you've grown a lot personally. You've learned a lot about our business model and how that is different than a traditional business model. I was actually watching, and by the way, folks, just a little program note, you need to go to my YouTube channel, the Fred Holmes Zija YouTube channel, because Thursday night, 2 nights ago, one of our you know, up and coming rising stars, Candace Smiley, she's an emerald with the company, she interviewed Mike, okay, that you were the broadcast on Thursday night, and you said some really interesting things about, you know, what this lifestyle has been able to bring to you. Instead of, you know, going to, you know, escape the winter of Alberta for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, come back and take a month to get going again because everything fell apart. Now you can go and spend 3 or 4 months at a time. You know, that whole ability for residual income is such a blessing. If you were to start today, because we've got, you know, just this past year, recent enhancements to our compensation plan that create a duplicatable path for people to start making money right away. The introduction of the concept of, instead of packages, good, better, best, we've got a number of bundles that can be put together to create different packages. We are introducing right now revolutionary new products, you know, our genetic wellness kit. I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to differentiate us from every other nutrition company, every other company that markets, you know, health and wellness products. We've got our new, you know, FDA certified meal replacement shake. It's an actually, you know, healthy meal replacement shake. Our new coffee product, healthy coffee. all these new things are happening right now. As a brand new person, what would you do if you launched today to set yourself up for over the next 12 months to be in a position to create that full-time residual income?
Well, I'll tell you,
Just do that one little thing for me, Mike. Just do that one little thing for me.
Yeah, what is it Phil always says? I feel like a mosquito in a nudist colony. I know exactly what to do. I don't know where to start. You know, the first thing that you want to do as a new distributor is you want to sit down and make up a list of who you want to talk to. That's absolutely the first thing that you want to do. And I'm not talking about a list of 200 people. Don't make it unachievable. Make a list of a dozen people, 20 people. You're going to think of people while you're doing it. And I the only one I don't think I put on the list was my ex-wife, and anyway, I won't go there. But you need to talk to people. And then the next most important thing that you want to do is get with your knowledgeable upline. Get with the person that has brought you in, or make sure that you're introduced to at least 5 people that have been doing this for a while, so that you can talk to those people and learn what it is that you want to say, and most importantly, learn what it is that you don't want to say when you're calling somebody. Now, you're not, you don't have to get weird when you call people. You just you want to call people and be real. I mean, if you're you, then they're going to listen to you. If you get weird on them and start going into some little sales pitch and some canned spiel, well, that's just not the way to go. But at the same time, you want them to know that what you're doing means a lot to you, and you'd like them to be part of it. So, I mean,
let me hold you up for a second here, Mike, because you said something critical that most people missed. Okay, as a brand new person, in particular, somebody who's never been highly successful in network marketing. There's a lot of people have been involved in network marketing, okay, and they've already burned through all their friends doing stupid things. But if you've never had high-level success, if Mike came to me as a businessman, and I've known Mike for years and his family, and he says, Fred, I've got this idea for a new business. Looks like this thing could be a serious money maker, and I thought about you. Would you be open to hearing what I got going? I'd be going, yeah. And I'd be telling my friend, man, Mike Crane just is starting a new business. He wants me in on it, man. I'm in the money, right? But unless you've got that kind of credibility, especially in a network marketing business, you said before you start talking to people, meet your upline, your successful, active, engaged, knowledgeable upline, because they're the key to having what you don't have, which is documentation. The business works, documentation the product works, documentation the business works, documentation that they know what to do. Does that make sense, Mike?
That's absolutely right.
And not everybody has 5 active engaged upline. I'm thinking you don't.
No.
I don't have 5 active engaged upline because we're so close to David Moses. That's about it, right? But very rarely is there somebody that doesn't have several sharp upline, platinums, diamonds, emeralds, people like yourself, people like myself who've been around, we know what to do. So you said something also critical. Make a list. Here's the part that most people miss, of people you want, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because you've been involved in hiring people that you pay a lot of money to these people to do the things that they do in your business. Would you hire somebody, pay them a lot of money if they were a flake?
No, not a chance.
Give me some ideas of the types of people you think our new distributors should be looking for, because honestly, most people's circle of influence that they associate with all the time are probably not who they're looking for. Your closest friends and family, right?
Yes, a lot of the time. I mean, you want to get your disappointments over early, start with your family. But the thing that what you want to look for is somebody that's hardworking, somebody that's got some integrity, that's honest. You know, the kind of person that you'd like to partner in business with, not the kind of person that you look at and go, you know, I don't know if that guy's sincere. You know, like he kind of comes across wrong. That's not the kind of person that you want to partner with. You know, when we used to talk about all those different attributes that Ken Brailsford has. You know, I mean, there's a guy at the head of this company that if you look at the you know, the qualities that Ken has, that's the kind of people that you want to try and find and partner with. That's, you know, the hard workers, the people with strong integrity and a good circle of influence. The circle of influence is, you know, if you're on the level of 1 to 10, if you're a 6 or a 7, you know, most of us, you know, feel that we're fitting into that 5, 6, 7 range. You want to look for 7s, 8s, 9s. You know, I mean, you want to look for people above what you consider yourself, stronger in business, stronger. You know, I mean, don't be scared to talk to the doctors. Don't be scared to talk to the lawyers. You know, well, okay, lawyers might be a bad example.
That's going down the X rabbit hole, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the thing is, like, look for strong individuals that you want to partner with, that have a strong circle of influence, because those are the people that are going to help you to build your business a lot stronger. You know, and that's what you're looking for is the duplication and the expansion.
You know, most novice network marketers, they immediately go to that half a dozen, 8 people they associate with on a regular basis, friends from work, family members, that the people they would barbecue with on a regular basis in the backyard or something like that. And honestly, most of the people like myself, people like you, who get involved in network marketing venture, we tend to be the higher level, you know, and I don't want to make value judgments, but, you know, higher level people in terms of, you know, desire for, you know, good work ethics, desire to have more than you know, what most people are settling for. And you really are not going to build a substantial business when you're the best person that you hire. You want to hire better people. You want to, I've been very fortunate that, you know, the people that have come into my Zija business, you know, they are, you know, they just blow me away. I mean, I'm just very fortunate, but I'm also smart. Okay. What I lack in a lot of contacts, I want to find somebody with a lot of contacts. You know, what I lack in, you know, ability to travel a lot, you know, because of my circumstances, I want to find people that are free to jump on an airplane and go do a meeting in, you know, Alberta, right?
Right.
I look for the, you know, people, you know, where I lack in my ability to, you know, be, you know, outgoing in social situations, that sort of thing. I look for people that are the life of the party. Recruit the talent that you may not be able to bring to your own business. So let's keep going. Okay, so we've created a list, and I like what you said. You know, start with a dozen people, start with 20. Keep that list around because you're always going to be adding to it. But let's get that, you know, that short list of the people that you know, if you could get Mike Crane when you're first starting your Zija business, would that be a help to launch your business quickly? The answer is absolutely. So let's go after them. What do we do when we go after that? Because a new distributor, they've met some of their upline now. The upline's maybe guiding them a little bit on, you know, this might be how you should approach that person. You know, we might want to do the approach together, the initial approach. What's the next step now that we got that list going?
Well, the next step is piquing their interest. I mean, really, for a new distributor, that's their job. That's their only job, is to pique somebody's interest. So whether you're talking face to face or whether you're talking to them on the phone, you want to know what to say to be able to pique that person's interest. And I was always taught that, you know, when I called somebody, if the call was longer than 2 minutes, I was on there too long. I was talking too much.
I like that.
And you can talk too much. You can talk yourself right out of that person's interest zone. So, you know, you want to get on the phone and learn what exactly it is to say to that person to pique their interest. And once their interest is piqued, then get off the phone. now you want to book an appointment while you're on the phone to get back together with them again.
Mm-hmm.
But, so don't get off, don't say, oh, okay, great, I'll send you some information, and slam the phone down or hang up real fast. That was my, how old I am, right? Slam the phone down. You see how I was holding that?
I remember that.
Yeah. So now it's like, okay, we do this. Yeah. But you want to get their interest piqued and make an appointment to get back together with them to talk about the information that you're going to send them. And then once you've made that appointment, then just get off the phone and send them the information. But the interest peak is a new person's only job. And I say that because so many of us think that, oh my God, we have to know everything before we can call somebody. And that's just not the case. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to have the product knowledge or the business knowledge that Fred Holmes has. That's going to take you years to get. And you just started and you want to build a business now. So what you want to do is leverage Fred Holmes. You piqued their interest. It's getting windy over here again. I'm sorry if that's coming across.
No, you're okay. No, but I can tell.
Yeah, I'm putting things on top of papers but so because you haven't got the experience at this point, you need to learn what it is that we're doing. So if we teach you just simply to pique somebody's interest, because you know that person, we don't. So they're going to trust you. Where if you call them and say, hey, I found something that I'm super excited about, and I really think this could make us a lot of money, if you're going after them as a business partner, and I always go after people as a business partner, I'll inject that in here now. I always start there, and I always teach people to start there, because if they're not interested, once they've looked at the information, if they're not interested in the business side of things, I can always go back to getting them as a customer. Whereas if I try to get them as a customer and they're not interested in the product, then it's tough for me to try and get them as a business partner.
That's a very good point. I like that.
So that's what I always teach is try to introduce them to the business first, because as a business partner, they're going to use the product. And when they use the product, they're going to fall in love with it, and that's just going to help them in their business. But so I lost my train of thought of where I was going, but
well, no, Mike, you're right on track, because the next step is actually to make that contact. And I'm going to point out a couple of quick things that you did. You talked about 2 minutes. If you're on the phone for more than 2 minutes, you're probably doing it wrong. And that's because that's the system. The only thing and you pointed this out, the only thing the brand new distributor needs to do in the beginning to build their business is to simply invite that prospect to take a look. Now, the new distributor, they know these people. They have a better idea what might get their attention. I remember one of the statements that you said when you were first being introduced to the business. It took a long time for your sponsor to get your attention, because you kept saying, you're so busy, I ain't got time, I don't need another business, I got 5 of them already, I don't want. And finally, I think you said, your sponsor said something like, that's why I'm trying to show you this, because you have no time. And that's what, well, maybe I should pay attention to that, because he's right. I have no time. There's a problem there. But a 2-minute introduction, because all the information, all of the discussion of why this is really a great product, why the business model really works, that's for somebody else to do, right?
Absolutely. That's for the person that has the knowledge and the experience to share once that person's interest is piqued. So then the process is the peak, pass, plug, or it was taught to me presentation,
Invitation, presentation, validation.
Invitation, presentation, validation. That's right. So peak, pass, plug, same thing. Pique their interest. That's the new distributor's job. Pass them the information. Now that's a tool. That's a video. That's a lifestyle video, possibly, or diamond video, or it can be a number of different things. And this is where, as a new distributor, you want to get to know your tools. That would be like if you became a carpenter and you didn't know the difference between a hammer and a saw. You got to at least study your tools a little bit, get to know what excites you about your tools so that you can pass that information to the new prospect. Now, once you pass them that information, then from there, it's the Peak Pass plug. The next thing is the plug. And that's where, when you've made the appointment to get back on the phone with that person, you also want to make the appointment with one of your knowledgeable upline to be available to talk to that person for you when you make that call. So
let me interject. Setting up that appointment, because you actually said this as well a few moments ago, and I want to bring it out and put the highlighter to it. The 2-minute phone call the new distributor makes to his prospect is simply to pique their interest and set an appointment for follow-up.
Yes.
So something, give me an example of how that might work, just nickel version. Pique their interest, set an appointment for follow-up.
Piquing their interest, I might get on the phone and say, hey, I found something or I got introduced to something that I am super excited about. It's it's got all the stuff in it that looks like it could make a lot of money for us, and I thought of you. So I'd really like you to have a look at this. I want your opinion on it. And if I was to send you some information, it's going to be a short video, it's going to be like 10 minutes long. When are you going to be able to have time to have a look at this? And then I'll wait for a response. Will you look at it, and when would you look at it?
Yeah, well, I'll look at it after dinner tonight, Mike.
Okay, perfect. So after dinner, so is that like 7? So would it be good if I was to call you back at 7:30 or maybe 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock would be better. Yeah, let's talk at
8 o'clock. Okay, perfect. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you before 7, and let's talk again at 8 o'clock. Call you on your cell phone?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. I will talk to you then.
Now,
yes.
You did exactly what the new guy is supposed to do. One job: introduce a tool to the prospect, set the appointment for the follow-up. Now, what would you do on that follow-up call?
On that follow-up call, I'd have somebody else lined up. I'd call you and say, Fred, I've got a call with my buddy at 8 o'clock tonight. Would you be available? And if you said yes, perfect. Thank you. I'll call you then. Then at 8 o'clock, the first thing I do when I call my friend is I'd say, hey, did you have a look at that video I sent you? What did you like the best about it? I want to look at it. What did you like the best about it? They're going to tell me something, and I'm going to say, hey, you know what? That was my favorite part of that as well. I just love how this is helping so many people around the world, and this just needs to get out there. So what have you got? You must have wrote down some questions. And as soon as they ask me a question, I say, hey, you know what? That's a great question. And I'm pretty new at this myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get a hold of the guy that's helping me to put this together. And he's a busy guy, but I'm not sure I can get him, but hang on just a second. I'm going to see if I can get him to answer that question for you and any other question you have. And what that's going to do, it's going to help me to learn as well how to answer these questions. So just hang on a second, and I'll put them on hold, and I'll call my knowledgeable upline, and then three-way them in. Introduce
Refer to somebody that's got the experience. And honestly, Mike, I think so many people miss this part. If the new distributor was already making a full-time income from a part-time business, he wouldn't necessarily need somebody else to document that it works. That's why he uses an upline. Now, what's also interesting is we, the people that are supposedly the stories, we do the same thing.
Absolutely.
I've done that with you. You've done that with me. It's a different perspective. When Mike wants to introduce me to somebody, that person is going, well, yeah, sure, Mike Crane makes a ton of money with this thing. Look, man, every business he's ever been in, he made a ton of money. Of course, Mike can do it. Mike wants to show his prospect, even an old dumb truck driver like me can do it too.
Yeah, well, I've never introduced you that way.
No.
No, but yeah, absolutely though. I mean, you want to make them understand that, hey, you know what? Not only you don't have to know anything to start with, and it's great by the end of that conversation to say, hey, you know what? I was the one sitting on the line while you answered all the questions, and you might say to my friend, hey, you know what? Mike didn't answer any of these questions, did he? So all your job would be to do is exactly what Mike did. Do you think you could do that? And they're going, well, Mike didn't do anything. And
I can do that.
Yeah, I can do that. So, I mean, that's the whole point of it, is to let them know that the new prospect, even before they get started, let them know that we have a system in place to teach them. And once we teach them, then, down the road, a few weeks down the road, depending on how active they are, then it can be their turn to talk and answer questions for their people. But once they learn what it is to say and how to answer the questions, and as well as I do, most of the time the questions are the same. I mean, it gets to where the call is.
A couple of different sets of questions. It just depends on the individual. I got one more thing I want to cover with you, Mike, before we run out of time here. And I want to interject something that just popped into my head. One of the most, significant things that was taught me about this distribution model and how to present it. Because the real key is creating that distribution organization. I mean, thousands of people ordering the Zija product every single day, once a month. The paychecks come in. One of the things you said on your broadcast with Candace Smiley on Thursday is it's been 9 years. Every single week your paycheck from Zija showed up. Every single week, whether you were working hard, not working, on vacation, whatever. Unlike real businesses or traditional businesses where it's pretty common money doesn't necessarily come in when you're still sending out the checks to all the employees and vendors and stuff. But the phrase that got my attention, and this has been kind of the foundation, this is how I judge whether or not a component of the system is going to be effective. If it looks simple, looks like it'll work, and I think I can do it. We need to create an environment in our new distributor team's mind. When they look at this, they go, looks simple, looks like it'll work, and I think I can do it. Because we already know if people believe they can, they probably can. So we're coming to the end of our time here, Mike. You've done a great job of explaining the steps of a new person. Make that list, meet the upline, the invitation protocol. I'll kind of accelerate past this because when you've got your new prospect on the phone as a new distributor, you got your upline with you. Your job when the upline starts talking is what? Oh, you muted yourself, buddy. There you go.
There we go. Yeah. Your job is to do exactly what I just did. Mute yourself and listen and make some notes.
I missed that. That's pretty good. Yeah, mute yourself and shut up.
Yes. Do not jump into the conversation. I did that once with my knowledgeable upline. I jumped in and I said, Phil, wait, you didn't tell them about this. And Phil said, oh, well, Mike, no problem. He says, I got another call coming in here. You've got this under control. So you go ahead and I just got started. This was like my third call or fourth call. And I learned very quickly not to do that. And I laugh now. I mean, I wasn't laughing at the moment because I didn't have it under control, but what I had done when I jumped in on my knowledgeable upline was I took away any edification that I had given them to start with, because I'm saying, hey, you forgot this, or you didn't tell them about this. And I mean, so I learned, don't do that. Just mute your phone, wait until you're asked. I mean, and into the conversation, your upline might say, hey, Mike, you're still on the phone, right?
Yeah.
You're listening to this, and and then unmute yourself and say, yeah, I'm still here. I'm just taking some notes, and then mute yourself again. Get back off the phone. You want your upline to have this conversation. You don't want to have this conversation yourself. You want to show the person that you're not doing anything but listening.
The simplicity of the model, if it's followed, can be incredibly effective. I got off to a real fast start doing exactly what you're talking about, lined up my first 12 people, basically 2 minutes. got something, want you to look at it. I tried to frame up something that was meaningful to them, plugged them into, at the time we didn't have the tools we got. It was a little 5-minute cheesy recorded phone call, selling the Zija opportunity. And then I immediately plugged them into to my upline, David, and I just shut up and boom, 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 set them up. People came in, some did, some bought the product, some didn't do anything. But it got me off to a fast start because I did exactly what you've been teaching today. Now, last thing I want to cover, this is for all of the people that have been part of Zija, people that, maybe been around for a little while, or in some cases a long while. They've got existing customers, maybe some distributors or what have you. What would you do right now with these brand new products? Essentially what me and you are going to be doing right now anyway. We've got these brand new products. Essentially over the last year, we've completely reformulated our corporate management team. We've got the right people in the right places. We've got, Ken Brailsford's, recommitment to being at the helm of our ship to guide us into the future. What would you be doing with all of the people that you've already spoken to with these brand new products and this brand new timing with Zija?
This is a great opportunity, guys. Anybody that has been here for any length of time, it's a great opportunity with all these new products to reopen dialogue. We've got, like you say, a revamped corporate team. They're in there and they're on mission. They're on target. Ken Brailsford back at the helm, and wonderful leader within Ken Brailsford. The product lines that they're coming out, guys, the coffee itself, I'm super excited about the coffee. I don't even drink coffee anymore, but I'm going to try it. And I might start drinking coffee again, because I didn't quit drinking coffee because I thought it was bad. I just didn't crave it anymore because of the XM Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, 98% of people in the world, I think, drink coffee. So what a conversation starter, and what a way to, turn them back around and say, hey, you know what? Like this company's got all these great products, including this. Look what they've just brought to the table within the last year. The CBD squares, we've got the meal replacement, like you were saying now as well. And coffee, I felt before we could have built a business on just this, so now it's, we've just got so much more, and it's time to restart those dialogues. And for anybody starting today, know that the tools are in place, the systems in place, the people, the team, the field teams are in place. Get introduced to the people that are out there doing it and getting it done, and work off of them. Learn from those people. And there's, cross-line cousins, sidelines, downlines, uplines. It doesn't matter. Everybody within this company seems like they are all willing to help. It doesn't matter who they are, who the people are. You can call on these people. So it's a wonderful position to be in with this company.
Today, it's almost like magic. The three critical components to success in a network marketing or home-based business venture, the corporate management team, literally over a decade in evolution, and today coming full circle, we've got, several of the Brailsford children are now back in the office because they grew up there. They were the ones that established so many of our departments, and they're guiding the company to the next level. The products, while we started, we had just a couple of products. Today, this incredible line of products, widely diversified, something that can interest every single person. And then finally, the last ingredient for success, the field leadership team. Because we've gone through over a decade of refinement and filtering. Not everybody who was with Zija should have been with Zija, but the people that should be with Zija, that are going to lead it to, the $1 billion a year company, a place where the average person can invest time, invest energy, commit to building their business, and see the kinds of results that, that you've had, that I've had. when the field leadership combined with the products and the corporate leadership come into, into alignment like we have right now, I think this will be the greatest opportunity and the greatest timing for somebody to get involved in a network marketing venture. I came here personally because I wanted to leave my mark on a company that people would be talking about for decades. And I'm so proud to have people like you as my partner in Zija. Mike, we're about to wrap it up. Last words from you?
Thank you so much for having me on here. And if I want to say anything, I got started when this company was doing about 50 million, between 40 and 50 million a year. And I know how much excitement there was going from that to where we, to that 120, 140 million dollars a year. I know how much excitement and I know how much money was made by the field. Guys, to be part of that, the company that's going from that to $1 billion is going to be way, way more exciting. And I can see that happening in the next, like you said, Fred, between 2.5 to 5 years. I think in that range, we're going to hit those numbers. And the people that are with this company taking it to that level, there's going to be a lot of millionaires made. And I want to have a bunch of those on my in my team.
And you say it so correctly, Mike. It's great to get involved. I got involved in this type of business for the money, 35 years ago with my first company. But when it really becomes fun is when you can empower others to experience what we've been able to experience. Mike, pleasure always to be with you, buddy. Wish I could be hanging out on your lanai or have you hanging out on my lanai, but good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Folks, this will be posted up on the YouTube channel here a little bit later on today. Get together with your upline that was in attendance at one of the launch events so you can get all of the information as quickly as possible. Once again, Mike, be cool, dude.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, man. We'll see you. Bye, folks.